the gap, standing for Jesus. Standing in the gap for family and friends. Standing in the gap, one love for all, so we all can make it in.
We also, in this ministry, want to keep you up to date on current events, because see, God put us in this world in the midst of all this that is happening now. We can study what happened thousands of years ago and try to assert it to what we're doing now, but you have to know what's going on now in order to understand how the Bible, the eternal Word of God, influences things today, and how we are supposed to act in reference to the things that are happening today. We call that Gap News. Gap News. And Gap News is under the wisdom and the direction of Marvel. That's her. And she was telling me earlier that, hey, I've got something here for you today. And there's so much happening in the news today that I never know what she's going to come over with, because there's so much to work with. But he has it. She's ready. Marvel, Gap News.
I got a good one for y'all today. Like Art said, there is so much going on in the world. It's like, should I do this? Should I do that? Tell you what, I'll wait till next week to do that one. And I'm just so excited that we can share what's going on in the world today. So I call this one Our Congress.
No one, and I mean no one, knows the rules of the House of Representatives better than the Honorable James Patrick McGovern, who started his career as a young man in the House of Representatives in 1981, working on the staff of South Boston Congressman Joe Moakley, who became the chairman of the House Rules Committee. Chair of the Rules Committee was Jim McGovern's dream. When he was elected to the House of Representatives in 1996, Jim McGovern finally became the chairman of the House Rules Committee in 2019. And now, with the Democrats in the minority, he serves as what they call the ranking member of the committee, meaning the highest ranking member of the committee on the minority party. On the floor of the House today, Jim McGovern gave the rules of the House a new test, an unprecedented test.
Republicans are skipping their real jobs to take day trips up to New York to try to undermine Donald Trump's criminal trial. No time to work with Democrats, but plenty of time to put on weird matching cult uniforms and stand behind President Trump with their bright red ties and like pathetic props. Maybe they want to distract from the fact that their candidate for president has been indicted more times than he's been elected. Maybe they don't want to talk about the fact that the leader of their party is on trial for covering up hush money payments to a porn star for political gain, not to mention 3 other criminal felony prosecutions he's facing. Now, I understand why my Republican friends want to distract from Donald Trump. They don't want to talk about how Trump had the worst jobs record since the Great Depression, how he sold out our allies and empowered our adversaries. So they bring silly things like this to the floor to deflect blame and distract from the fact that they have no real vision, just division, and no real plans to make life better for the American people. And with that, I reserve my time.
The chair would like to remind members to refrain from engaging in personalities towards presumed nominees for the office of the president. The gentleman from Massachusetts reserves. The gentlewoman from Indiana is recognized.
Massachusetts isn't the only word that Jerry Lee Carl Jr. of Mobile, Alabama cannot pronounce. Jerry Lee Carl, who has no idea what he's doing up there at the podium and has to read every word he says, was elected to the House of Representatives in 2020 and was defeated earlier this year in a Republican primary by a fellow Republican congressman from Alabama who was redistricted out of a district and decided to take Jerry Lee Carl's seat away from him. And so these are Jerry Lee Carl's final days in the House of Representatives. It is very unlikely he will say anything again in the House to come to our attention. But he had the misfortune yesterday of being the junior member assigned to the thankless task of mechanically presiding over the House when Congressman Jim McGovern presented him with a challenge that Jerry Lee Carl simply could not comprehend.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, a few moments ago, I was admonished for stating the simple fact that the former president was indicted by a grand jury and is on trial in a court of law. That's not my opinion. It's just the truth. So I have a parliamentary inquiry, Mr. Speaker.
The gentleman will state his inquiry.
Mr. Speaker, has the chair determined it's unparliamentary to state a fact?
The chair is not in a position to determine the veracity of remarks made on the floor.
Well,
that members must avoid personalities.
yeah, well, that's unbelievable. Last week during debate, a Republican member of this House said, and I quote, "Watch the former president of the United States being hauled into court day after day with a sham trial," end quote. He wasn't admonished. I just referenced the same trial, and I was. So, Mr. Speaker, I have to ask a further parliamentary inquiry.
The gentleman will state his inquiry.
Mr. Speaker, is it correct that members of Congress can mention the trial of the presumptive nominee for president, call it a sham, and question the integrity of the judge, but a reference to the mere existence of that same trial without any characterization that's out of order?
The chair will not issue an advisory opinion.
Well, one last parliamentary inquiry, Mr. Speaker. Is this restriction originally founded, at least in part, on the principle in Jefferson's manual that, quote, in Parliament, to speak irreverently or seditiously against the king is against order, end quote? Is that what this is about? I have Jefferson's manual here.
Members must avoid personalities in debates. The chair will direct members to Rule 17 in Section 370 of the House Rules and Manual.
Yeah. So it is in fact based on what's in Jefferson's manual. Mr. Speaker, Donald Trump might want to be a king, but he's not a king. He is not a presumptive king. He's not even the president. He's a presumptive nominee. And I know you're trying to do your job and follow precedent, but frankly, at some point, it's time for this body to recognize that there is no precedent for this situation. We have a presumptive nominee for president facing 88 felony counts, and we're being prevented from even acknowledging it. These are not alternative facts. These are real facts. A candidate for President of the United States is on trial for sending a hush money payment to a porn star to avoid a sex scandal during his 2016 campaign, and then fraudulently disguising those payments in violation of the law. He's also charged with conspiring to overturn the election. He's also charged with stealing classified information, and a jury has already found him liable for rape in a civil court. And yet, in this Republican-controlled House, it's okay to talk about the trial, but you have to call it a sham.
We take down his words.
It's okay to say the jury is rigged.
Mr. Speaker, I demand that his words be taken down.
It's okay to say the court is corrupt.
The gentleman will suspend.
But not Trump is corrupting the rule of law.
Indiana, I demand that his words be taken down. The gentleman from Massachusetts will be seated. The clerk will report the words.
And so the clerk of the House had to consult with the parliamentarian to find exactly which words Congressman McGovern said violated the rules of the House. It took over an hour with the House floor silent for the entire time before the clerk was ready to report the offending words.
Order. The clerk will report the words.
We have a presumptive nominee for president facing 88 felony counts. and we are being prevented from even acknowledging it. These are not alternative facts. These are real facts. A candidate for President of the United States is on trial for sending a hush money payment to a porn star to avoid a sex scandal during his 2016 campaign, and then fraudulently disguising those payments in violation of the law. He is also charged with conspiring to overturn the election. He is also charged with stealing classified information, and a jury has already found him liable for rape in a civil court. And yet in this Republican-controlled House, it is okay to talk about the trial, but you have to call it a sham. It is okay to say the jury is rigged, but not that Trump should be held accountable. It is okay to say the court is corrupt, but not Trump is corrupting the rule of law.
The chair is prepared to rule. The words of the gentleman from Massachusetts accused the presumed nominee of the office of president of engaging in illegal activities. The presumed nominee for the office of president are according to the same treatments under the rules of the decorum in debate as a sitting president. Actual party nominees is not a prerequisite for treatments under the presided as though they are nominees. I messed that one up, I'm sorry. The chair has abolished members on the basis of numerous occasions.
Yeah, you heard right. He said abolished members when he meant admonished members.
Although remarks in debate may include criticism of such candidates' official position as a candidate, it is a breach of order to refer to the candidate in terms personally offensive, whether by actually accusing or by merely insulting. Also, as such, in Section 370 of the manual, the accusation that the president has committed a crime or even that the president has done something illegal is not in order.
Yep. Jerry Lee said the acquisition that the president has committed a crime when, of course, he meant the accusation that the president has committed a crime. He's not good at reading in public.
The chair relies on the precincts of March 19, 1988.
Yeah. He meant precedents, but he said the precincts of March 19th, 1988.
And finds that the remarks consistently a personal attack. Without objections, the offensive words are stricken from the record.
And so those words will not be in the congressional record. So this is the country you live in 2024, the country where it is against the rules of the House of Representatives to say
the leader of their party is on trial for covering up hush money payments to a porn star for political gain, not to mention 3 other criminal felony prosecutions he's facing.
Unbelievable.
Well, that's unbelievable. Last week during debate, a Republican member of this House said, and I quote, "Watch the former president of the United States being hauled into court day after day with a sham trial," end quote. He wasn't admonished. I just referenced the same trial, and I was.
Well, it was quite interesting because, like, the first day, Keenan on my team, he put together one with AI real quick. Y'all had that one ready? Okay, he did a remix. Okay, play his remix.
Bleach blowing, bad built, butch body, shut your trap. Jealous of my style, cause you know I got that snap. Talking loud, online, you ain't built for that scrap. Keep your distance, I ain't dealing with your cap. You think you slick, tryna flex with your fake gold. All that botched up, surgery, you look old. Bleach blonde, she dyed, root showing real bold. Ain't got no shape but acting tough, man, you cold. Whispers in the crew, you know you can't relate. Bad built, botched up, jealousy's your trait. Can't fake the
Alright, so he put that one together. Did you hear the gospel one?
Yes, I love it. It's so amazing.
Y'all roll that one. Roll that one.
My first one.
got a bleach blonde, bad blue butch body. She got a bleach blonde, bad blue butch body. That Marjorie Taylor Greene look like a lima bean. I forgot she had a bleach blonde, bad blue butch body. Representative Jasmine's about that life. She about that, and she looks like she can really fight.
I didn't know.
An amazing politician, ain't got no competition. Ain't worried about a bleach blonde, bad blue butch body. Marjorie tried to cause a scene, forgot she had a butch body. Marjorie tried to cause a scene, forgot she had a butch body. Marjorie tried to cause a scene, forgot she had a butch body. Marjorie tried to cause a scene, forgot she had a butch body. Black women with lashes, they won't give you gashes. Black women with lashes, they won't give you gashes. Black women with lashes, they won't give you gashes. Don't come for us unless we sit for you. She got a bleach blonde, bad blue butch body. She got a bleach bad blue butch body. A bleach blonde, bad blue butch body. She got a bleach bad blue butch body.
Did one.
Say it again.
Isaac Hayes' son did one.
Oh, I know. It was called the clapbacks. Roll it.
Yes. He did one.
Roll the clapbacks.
She's a bleach blonde, bad built butch body. She's a bleach blonde, bad built butch body. She's a bleach blonde, bad built butch body. And she better not talk about nobody. Marjorie Taylor Greene is built like a shake machine. Nick Nolte in the face, cereal box in the waist. She better learn her place, cause she's about to catch a case. Talk about a black woman's lash, she'll definitely whoop your ass. She better get her face right, cause she looks like a pack of Bud Light. Oh, yeah. Built butch body. She's a bleach blonde, bad built butch body. She's a bleach blonde,
probably the one. So that's that old school sound. The brother King Walonius, I gotta admit.
That one. That one is so. That's so good.
Yo, how y'all ain't have it ready?
No, this is a good one. The organ get me.
country version.
The country version was really good, but I love the ones where Comer is like a wood now.
Y'all got any one of those in there?
Oh my goodness.
All right, let me hear that one. Let me hear that one. I need to hear that one. First of all, let's see that one too. Go ahead, go.
Bleach blonde, bad built, bleach blonde, bad built, bleach blonde, bad built, bitch body.
A what now? Joining us now is the winner of the week, Representative Jasmine Crockett of Texas. And by the way, Sora, that's not even my favorite one. My favorite one is King Wallonia, you know, the girl group version of it. I mean, when I tell you, let me ask you this, because a lot of people listen to that and they said, this lady clearly had a plan ready. When did you think of this? Did it just pop into your head because you just were, the letter of the day was B? What's happening?
Definitely B was stuck in my head, but I needed to use it appropriately. Listen, I did not have this locked and loaded. You know, after the chairman decided he was going to rule that way, in the midst of me trying to get his attention so that I could do a parliamentary inquiry, I looked over at her and I started from her head to her toe. So that's why I started with bleach blonde. My granny used to have a saying. She used to say that people were bad built. Y'all know how old black women can get sometimes. They just say what they say. And so that was kind of an ode to my granny. And then obviously,
it went viral. I mean, the thing is, it definitely had black grandma vibes, which is why I think you're so young to have that black grandma. But you know, the thing I think the reason it resonated, honestly, to be serious, is that Marjorie Taylor Greene is a bully. She is not a legislator. She has not created anything, and she has not created anything positive in Congress other than bullying people. And she started out bullying you in a way that was clearly racialized, talking about your lashes. I read that as a racialized attack. And she's been doing this. She did it to AOC. She's done it to so many. And AOC did come to your defense. What is it like having to be in a legislative body, which is supposed to be a prestigious institution, with someone like her?
Yeah, it's completely unproductive. But listen, you know, she is showing the world who she is. And the fact that the Republicans continue to give her cover, it tells you who they are as well. Now, they want to disassociate themselves from her. But in reality, when you don't check her, you basically are complicit in the things that she does. And it's my understanding she's the 5th highest fundraising person, and the 4 that are higher than her are all members of leadership. So I don't know if she shares her money because that's what we're supposed to do or not. But I think that for some of them, they say, you know what, we're able to get some money and we're also able to keep Trump off our backs. So they just let it go. I will tell you that I've had thumbs up, winks, and comments from the other side, some I like your lashes. Like, listen, nobody's coming for her defense, and they're all patting me on my back. So, yeah.
Let me play another moment that went viral for you, and this one was very poignant. Take a look.
It did not seem as if my colleague understood that someone can be diverse and qualified. And it is why you have people like me that get very frustrated, not just in the halls of Congress, but in general in this country. There are those that would make some people believe that because I happen to be black and or a woman, that somehow, even though I can rattle off all the qualifications in the world, my blackness makes me unqualified.
I think one of the reasons that you have become so beloved by so many people, even if they're not political, is that you use your platform to do things like that. It's not just the funny viral moments of you taking down a bully. It's you really seeing black women who are in public spaces and who are facing what you're facing, all the accomplishments being thrown away. But you also went viral this week for pointing out that SNAP benefits, most of those go to rural communities, not black people. Like, you're using your platform very well. What is your purpose and what do you want to accomplish? What do you want to be your big accomplishment?
I want people to truly feel like they're represented. We're supposed to live in a representative government. For far too long, representative government in this country has meant old white men. And there are so many people that felt like their stories, their experiences, that they were left out of the conversation. And I don't believe that I get to the privilege of sitting at this table and not amplifying the struggles that we're experiencing. Yeah. And the reality is that I sit in Congress, yet for whatever reason, I experience these as well. It doesn't matter what level you attain. Sometimes there are those that are always going to pretend as if you are lesser than simply because you are a woman or that you are a person of color.
Amen. And I want to acknowledge that this is the 2-year anniversary of the Uvalde slayings in your state of Texas. And we want to give love to all of the families there in Texas. And thank you, Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett. We see you because, we know that you see us. We appreciate you.
Do you know what we're here for? You know we're here about
just
AG.
I
don't think you know what you're here for.
Well, you the one talking about.
I think your fake eyelashes are messing up.
No, ain't nothing.
Hold on.
Listen.
Order, Mr. Chairman.
That's beneath
would
even
you
you
please regain order of your committee?
I'm just curious, just to better understand your ruling. If someone on this committee then starts talking about somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body, that would not be engaging in personalities, correct?
What now?
So this is our Congress. This is what is going on in our Congress every day. So we've got Jerry Lee. I think it's Jerry Lee or Jimmy Lee. He can't say Massachusetts. He can't read in public. And I said to Art, I said, well, I thought Marjorie and Lauren were the most ignorant people in the Congress, but maybe not. The whole idea of striking the truth and promoting a lie and having that to be recorded. It's recorded in our congressional record. What do you think about that, honey?
Well, as you indicated, this is what's going on in our Congress, and you look at the people that they put up in front to make statements, can't even read off of paper, and sitting there waiting for someone to tell them what to say. It's not a good look. I mean,
No, it's not.
And then, for him not to even be able to respond to the parliamentary questions that were presented, that's not good. And it may be that guy just can't read. Okay, then don't put him up there because it doesn't look good.
But how did he get elected?
Well, it doesn't matter. He got elected. A lot of people get elected who have no qualifications, as we saw in the rest of this. But you talk about what happened in that deal with Marjorie Taylor Greene, and I have no problem with them kicking back at her like that. She started it. It was a racial thing, and as they said, she wants to be able to get away with that and have black people back down and let her do it. But she picked the wrong person.
She picked the wrong person that time.
I've been watching this Crockett lady since she was in the Texas legislature. First time I saw her, she was a Texas representative, and I was impressed by that. And then I found out she got elected. And boy, she has been a blazing trailblazer.
Yes.
Because she calls out the truth, like you said.
Yes.
And so, I don't have a problem. Some people say, what about Obama's, Michelle Obama is talking about when they go low, we go high. And wanted to criticize Jasmine for what she did. One thing about what Jasmine did, she was restrained because she could have gone even further, and she put it in the context of a parliamentary question. And so what they did is just disregard all that and take it down and all that kind of thing, and not take down what Marjorie said. And also put it like this: you go high, they go high, you go low. How does that go to Jesus? Jesus called them vile brood of vipers. He called them hypocrites. He said all kind of things when they were saying what they were saying. So Jesus clapped back at people. And so I don't see a problem with that. The problem is that it had to be done. I mean, the fact that it even had to be done because of the nonsense that this country's putting up with somebody like Marjorie Taylor Greene, who in 10 years ago or 15 years ago probably would have been censored and kicked out by now.
Oh, yes.
And so, we have to put up with that. And they want us to always sit down and shut up,
And take it.
That's the way it was in the Jim Crow South. But what they're finding out is you picked the wrong person this time.
Everybody knew it. I couldn't believe how many songs came out. Roland Martin just had them rolling. the hip hop version, the rap version, the gospel version. Just it was hilarious. But you know, this segment is pointing out how ridiculous our Congress has become. And this is just one time. You know, we've got so many other things. You know, they're trying to impeach the president for nothing. They have nothing. They know they have nothing, but they say they want to have an impeachment. I mean, just it's crazy what's going on up there on Capitol Hill. So anyway, our Congress, what we gonna do about them? I know what we should do about them. What do you say?
Get out and vote.
Get out and vote.
Get out and vote. And I mean, sorry it has to come down to that and all that, but this is what Gap News is about, letting you know what's going, because some people may not have seen all that.
Oh yeah.
Okay, and now they see it and understand that we need some Jesus in our life. And maybe it'll work like that. All right.